going on, y'all? We're not doing anything on the truck today, but it is truck slash vehicle related, so I am going to make this a video. So when I bought the truck, I actually recently found out I had two different size tires on there. So when I ordered tires for the truck, I looked at one of the wheels, and it was a 235/75 R15. One of the Steelies that came on the truck, right over here, the holes for the wheel studs are pretty much ovals now and dangerous to use. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, which is make a ring, just use like the barrel portion of the wheel for a fire pit. It's in the colder season, so it's actually a good time to do it. I have some time on my hand, so I'm actually going to do that today, as much as I can, which I think I'll be able to do it all. One thing about that wheel in particular is the tire size is different than the one I got off the truck. So, like I said, when I ordered the tires for the truck, I went outside, I looked at them, I read it, 235/75 R15s, so that's what I ordered. Funny thing is, this truck came with 225/70 R15s. I'll have to check that here in a second. On every vehicle, typically either in the driver door jamb or on the driver door itself, it'll have a sticker for the tire size and specific tire inflation. Anyways, this one is a 235/70 R15, and if you don't know much about tire sizes, the second number basically means is, so on this one, it's 70. So it's 70%. So hang on. The 70 is from here to here, right? That's 70% of this, the tread area across side to side. The side wall here is 70% of the tread. So yeah, anyways, a 235/70 R15 versus a 235/75 R15, this is 1 inch and 1/8 bigger, like taller, and I actually measured it. Now these are brand new tires. I don't remember where the date is on it. It's probably on the other side. I don't feel like messing with it. But these ones are the ones that came on the truck when I bought it, and they are dry rotted. So, although it is pretty much a brand new tire, and that's what the people at the tire shop said to me too. It's basically a brand new tire, and I didn't want to use that Steely anyways. Actually, I don't think it was that one. It was a different one. Yeah, I had one of the tires itself, just the rubber, no wheels. They gave it back to me. They called me and was like, hey, one of these tires is still brand new. Do you want it back? I said, yeah, but go ahead and just put the new tires on. That way they're all the same. And they understood that, and they just put the tire itself back in the back of the truck, which was cool. Which I sold that, I think, for like 20 bucks. It was dry rotted, but not as bad as that one. It just had a few cracks in it, which I don't think they seen personally. Because if they would have seen the dry rot cracks, they would probably just not have called me or said anything about it. Anyways, I'm rambling. We're going to go ahead and get into this. It is important to note when you're doing this, you like this tire still is holding air. It's fully inflated. Let me see if I can get a date code on here. I am not seeing it actually. That's weird. Interesting. Usually they'll have a date code on them. I'm not seeing one. Anyways. So anyways, like I said, you got to get the air out of these before you start cutting into it, whether if you're just cutting this intersection out. But I'm also going to be using the angle grinder to cut a notch into it. so I can get the tire itself off. So I'm gonna end up like cutting into it around here, and I'm gonna cut into it towards the barrel so I can just take it off. I don't have a tire debeater. Thought about getting one, but I don't feel like waiting to buy one. But either way, you can pick your poison on how you want to take the air out of it. I suggest a that cap's still good. Put that in the bag. I'm gonna use a valve stem core removal tool. This kit I got from Amazon came with valve stem cores and the removing tool, 2 of them actually. So that's good. I'll leave a link for this in the description. This pack is non-resealable, so I have a Ziploc bag here to pour everything into, which that is actually some good plastic that they put that in, so that's actually very cool. I've bought these over a year ago at this point, and I haven't used them because before I bought the new tires, I bought that thinking, oh, the valve stem core is leaking, so my tires losing pressure, but no, it was because they were dry rotted. Okay, I've actually never used one of these before, but both ends look the same except for this one's fatter. And yeah, that's what I thought. I have to use the skinny end. Going like that. Hang on, let me tighten this up real quick. So one thing you can do is on the valve stems, when you put air in, you're pushing that middle section down. If you wanted to, you can just sit here and push on it and drop pressure, but faster to do this. If you wanted to, you can slash the tire yourself. I'm not going to. It's wanting to fucking shoot that valve stem core out, because there's like 30 some pounds in this. I'm just gonna cover my eyes and let it fly. So here's the one that came out of it, and this is a new one. It could just be different makes and models are different, but you can see on the newer one, the little rubber silicone piece is not flattened out like this one. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one in the trash because I got a frick ton of them. I don't need them. But if you wanted to, you can save it and do that, but I'm not going to. Alright, you guys, I'm going to do a little voiceover, that way I can shorten up this video a bit. Otherwise it would be about 30 minutes long if I talked and did everything original of what I was going to do, like talking through what I was doing. So either way, so you just see me remove the valve stem and empty out all the air out of the tire, and right now I'm taking a box cutter, X-Acto knife, whatever you want to call it, and I'm actually cutting fully through the sidewall of the tire, and I'm going to do that on both sides. That way I can take it off of the rim, the wheel. You can get a tire debeater, or you can take the wheel tire combo to a automotive shop that do tire mount and balancing. They can just say, hey, I just want the tire removed from this wheel, and obviously you'll pay them for it and they can do that for you. So as you can see, I got that one side fully cut and I'm flipping it over right now to then do the other side, and the other side was a little bit harder to get through, I'll just say that. Now that's goofy. Now when it rolls, you push on it. I'm gonna hold on to this, honestly, because in theory, if I can cut it along the top, I could flatten it out and use the tread for something. So I'll just slip this in here. Alright, now I'm back again with the same box cutter, X-Acto knife, whatever. I'm cutting into the sidewall again, but this time I'm cutting directly towards the barrel of the wheel, and I'm spacing out both cuts about 3 to 4 inches, just wide enough to fit the angle grinder in there with the cutoff wheel, so then I can cut the actual strips of metal that hold the tire to the wheel. So that's typically called the bead of the tire. So if you see people go off-road, they're like, hey, I just knocked off my bead, and you can see that the rubber isn't fully attached to the wheel anymore. And they have things called bead locks, which are very popular in the off-road community. Obviously, I'm not working with one of those currently. This is just your traditional style wheel that's held on by pressure. And they still hold on fairly well even without air in them, because once they're seated, they kind of like to stay seated. And right here I'm demonstrating what I'm eventually going to do once I get the other side cut, and right there I'm pointing out the actual like little steel strips that are holding it together, because without that it wouldn't really work that well. And here's a little clip of me cutting through the first little piece of it. It's important to wear eye protection. I was getting hit in the face with debris and shit. Cutting rubber, you probably want to wear a mask too, but I don't have any. So obviously I had to cut into that a little bit in there, but that's fine in my opinion. At this point, I should be able to just bang those off the screwdriver. That one too. As for this, I should just be able to grab it with a pair of locking pliers, or vice grip locking pliers, whatever you call them. I might have to do that with a pair of dikes, maybe, I don't know. Recently, one of my favorite bands to listen to is Feared, and it's not just because Ola England is a part of the band, but that is how I heard of it. But You're Black Is My White is probably one of my favorite songs currently, so if you like metal, go check that out. So yeah, I ended up using the same X-Acto knife just because I had it right there to cut that other end of the valve stem off. I grabbed it with a pair of locking pliers, vice grips, whatever you call it, and they're a little bit hard to squeeze on there because I had the adjustment screw all the way in. But as soon as I got it on there, it was easy just to pull right out of it. Now up ahead there is a fair amount of footage of me grinding, and right now on the inside of the wheel it was held on by just some simple welds, and my original plan was to just cut and grind off the welds and just push it through. But later on I actually found a better solution that was faster and a little bit easier to do, and I wish I did it from the beginning, because this soaked up a lot of time. And this is exactly what that solution was just flip it over face side up and just cut straight through that front face, and then I would flip it over and cut the rest, because you could almost fully cut through it, but then the body of the angle grinder would like hit and stop you from cutting the rest, so you ended up having to flip it over anyways. But yeah, doing this was actually a lot quicker than just cutting the welds off, because some welds can penetrate deeper than others depending on how long they stayed in that spot. So it's one of those things, like, was it a Monday that someone put it together? Was it a Friday and they just wanted to get out of there? Or was it a Wednesday and they just had a fight with their wife, so they just stayed on it for longer and the weld got deeper? Who knows? So right now you can see that I'm cutting through the rest of it. That way that little section of it is done. And that's actually the first one I finished. So after that one I had 3 more to go. After I finished that one,
I ended up going through and cutting the front section out of the other 3, and then I flipped it back over and did the rest of the cutting, and there I am. I just lifted it up.
That was hot. Took me about 2 hours, but I got it off. Those are still warm. What worked best for me was actually like this. Was I came in from the top and cut it around, and then I'd flip it over. Either cut at an angle like that to cut into it, or straight like that one. Either way, after this point, it's up to you what you want to do with it. What if you want to scuff it all up and paint it or whatever. But yeah. Well, there you go. That's how you do it, I guess. Took a lot longer than I expected to, and I don't know how well it's gonna show, but I'm filthy. The camera lens got sparks in it, so now it's all spotty on my end. Hopefully it still looks good. Yeah, it's about 2 hours of your time, and that's what you get is a 15-inch steely rim barrel fire pit thing. But it can be whatever size you want. It could be a big ass tractor wheel like a lot of other people use. I don't have a tractor wheel. I had a 15-inch steel rim, so that's what I used. Anyways, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's see, what's a word? In the comments below, put lithium if you've made it this far. And I'm pretty tired after that because I haven't used an angle grinder that long before. I'm going to take these off because I don't need them. Anyways, I'm going to go take a shower and finally eat something today. Later.